Parents accused of murder have just appeared before a Laurel County judge. What happened in court? Just ahead on WKYT News at noon.
As the community continues remembering a 22-year-old woman and her unborn baby who were shot and killed, family members and the police are asking those with information to come forward.
Showers and storms out there today, and they look likely to stick around into Saturday as well, but big change is on the way into Sunday. I'll show you coming up.
This is WKYT News at noon.
Good afternoon and welcome to WKYT News at noon. I'm Bill Bryant. Andrea Walker is in for Barbara Bailey today. Two parents accused of murdering one of their children and injuring another have just appeared before a Laurel County judge.
Deputies say a 7-week-old baby girl died last week after being injured by Gary and Jessica Nicely. They say the baby's twin sister was also hurt. WKYT's Mike Byer has more on what happened in court this morning in our top story at noon.
Gary and Jessica Nicely were back in court this morning and are now facing murder charges in the death of their 7-week-old daughter. 31-year-old Jessica Nicely is now charged with 1 count of murder and 2 counts of criminal abuse. As for her husband, 34-year-old Gary Nicely, he is charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of criminal abuse. Investigators say their newborn Mia died at their hands. Deputies say the 7-week-old girl died at Kentucky Children's Hospital last week after suffering serious injuries. The baby's twin sister, Maya, was also taken to the hospital with injuries, but is expected to be okay. Gary Nicely has been in the Laurel County Detention Center since he was arrested on August 30th, when deputies say Mia was first taken to the hospital. His wife was arrested 2 days later. Gary's brother says he's having a hard time believing that he's responsible.
Gary loves my kids. He's crazy about my kids. And he's raised 2 other kids. It's not even his. And he's been a good dad. Everybody looks up to Gary in my family. You know, Gary's always the one we go to for comfort or whatever.
Now Jessica Nicely will be back in court Tuesday for a preliminary hearing. Gary Nicely's case has been waived to a grand jury. He will be back in court 1 week from today. In Laurel County, Mike Byer, WKYT.
The couple's bond is now set at $300,000. And this afternoon, a Lexington man found guilty of killing his boyfriend will receive his sentence. Police charged Matthew Donaghy with murder in the death of Todd Schumacher last year. Last month, Donaghy was convicted of manslaughter. His sentencing has already been delayed once. Jurors have recommended Donaghy serve 10 years in prison.
We have just confirmed that a man was killed this morning in an Anderson County crash. It happened on US 62 just outside of Lawrenceburg. State police say the crash involved 2 vehicles, including one that was reportedly driving recklessly. The driver of that vehicle has died. A driver and a passenger in the other vehicle had to be cut out and taken to UK Hospital. They're believed to have non-life-threatening injuries. US 62 is expected to be closed for at least another hour there. We have an update this afternoon about a shooting outside a Lexington Waffle House. It happened about 4 o'clock this morning on Athens-Boonesboro Road, just off I-75 in southern Fayette County. Police say they were called to the Waffle House for reports of a suspicious vehicle. They're now telling us there were multiple people in that car who appeared to be under the influence. Police approached the car in the parking lot and began trying to get the people out. And that's when they say a man inside the car shot himself in the neck. That man was rushed to UK Hospital in serious condition. Family members are continuing to search for answers today following Lexington's latest deadly shooting. We first broke that tragic story on WKYT News yesterday morning. Police say 22-year-old Mariah Coleman, who was 8 months pregnant, was shot Wednesday night while walking her dog on Winburn Drive off Russell Cave Road. Coleman and her unborn baby later died at the hospital. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live with more from Coleman's family.
Afternoon, friends and family of Mariah Coleman continue searching for answers today. A memorial is now set up outside of the apartment complex here along Winburn Drive. It is a spot where many are stopping to pay their respects, and many, when they stop, shaking their heads in disbelief. Balloons, signs, and flowers now sit where police say the 22-year-old was shot Wednesday night. Friends say she was out walking her dog. Coleman was 8 months pregnant. Her baby, named Jacoby, also unable to survive the shooting. Investigators are asking anyone with any type of information, even if you do not think it is relevant to the case, to come talk to police. As the events leading up to and surrounding the deadly shooting remain unclear, Lexington police say they have as many resources as possible dedicated to the investigation as they work to catch the person or group of people responsible. Family members are seeking justice for the mom-to-be and baby Jacoby.
Killer will be found because the family gonna do everything. So if anybody knows anything, hear anything, please contact somebody, because this is not fair that a 22-year-old had to go like this.
And police have increased patrols out in the Windburn area, and I can say in the time we've been out here, there definitely is a police presence out here. You can see a cruiser parked behind me over my shoulder right now. That is as officers both continue searching for evidence and also want to help instill a sense of security for the folks out here in this community. For now, live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. And police say they only have a vague description of the possible shooter, and they've also received some conflicting witness statements, so a lot for them to be sorting through right now. All right, things have kind of calmed down a little bit. We're still expecting some storms later today.
But after those move through, we're hoping for some great weather ahead. WKYT meteorologist Mike Linden is in our First Alert Weather Center with an early look at the forecast.
Well, Bill and Andrew, we are certainly tracking some storms, but I'm also finding that tomorrow is set to be the more active of the 2 days. Then things on Sunday do get better in a hurry. We look at the Defender radar network right now, and it seems that these strong storms and heavy rain have certainly died down as they have approached central Kentucky. Nonetheless, still finding some of these showers moving into the Jessamine County, Woodford County, and Boyle County areas. Lexington still picking up some very spotty showers, but just give it another half an hour or so and we will see things picking up just a little bit. As far as thunderstorms go, those will continue to be spotty as we head into our afternoon today, especially over northern Kentucky. The reason for that being a cold front is sitting almost right on top of the Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio border. We look to the northwest though, and this cold front is already on its way to the bluegrass, and by Saturday afternoon is set to bring us a more potent round of storms. So that's how the weekend is setting up. But Sunday looks awesome. Coming up, I'll take you hour by hour and show you why.
Mike, thank you very much. Early this morning, a Bourbon County toddler was found wandering alone in the middle of a main street in Paris. He's now safe, but police say it was tough to find a child like that. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain has more.
A lieutenant for the Paris Police Department tells us to his surprise, while he was patrolling, he found a toddler walking in the middle of Main Street here in Paris at 3 in the morning.
Something that you're not expecting to see at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It wasn't a typical night of work for Lieutenant David Thompson. While on duty, he found a little boy he says is between 18 and 24 months old in the middle of the road. The toddler was all alone and unable to tell Thompson where he lived. After about 30 minutes, Thompson says he was able to find the parents. The boy's home, around 250 feet from where the toddler was wandering around in the street. Lieutenant Thompson says the parents were asleep when he showed up. He said they were shocked by what had taken place and grateful their little one was safe.
A happy ending for sure, because he could have been hit by a car or wandered into the creek or something of that nature, falling off the bridge.
And I'm happy to report that lieutenant tells us that child is completely healthy and happy and safe, and no charges will be filed against his parents. In Bourbon County, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Police tell us the little boy escaped from his home due to a faulty door.
Well, certainly scary for that family. Well, friends and family members will be gathering today to mourn the loss of a Jackson County teenager. 16-year-old Christopher Harrison died Tuesday from complications after a motorcycle accident. The visitation for him will be this evening at 6 at the Lakes Funeral Home. Harrison was a junior at Jackson County High School. He was a JROTC cadet, and he joined the Sand Gap Volunteer Fire Department at just 14 years old. The Judge Executive Shane Gabbard officially has ordered all flags in Jackson County's government buildings to be flown at half-staff until Harrison's funeral is over tomorrow. Harrison will also be buried with full military honors. And the circus is coming to town today in Lexington.
And there is a big change this year. As of May, there are no more elephants in the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. They were removed after criticism from animal rights groups, but the show goes on and includes other animals. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus Extreme is today through Sunday. Tickets start at $15.
All right, what fun. Good to have you with us on WKYT. President Obama calls North Korea's test of its most powerful nuclear weapon yet a grave threat. The latest details on that situation coming back on Kentucky's #1 midday news, WKYT News at noon.
Welcome back to WKYT News at noon. President Obama has promised serious consequences after North Korea tested its most powerful nuclear weapon yet.
Craig Boswell has the very latest on this from the White House.
North Korea says it tested a powerful nuclear warhead that could be mounted on a ballistic missile at its main nuclear site overnight. The test triggered a magnitude 5.3 tremor.
4차 핵실험 이후
Officials from South Korea, Japan, and the U.S. quickly condemned the test, the White House calling it a grave threat to regional security.
I think it's fair to say that China, Russia, the United States, everybody shares concerns, but we're trying still to monitor to find out precisely what took place.
President Obama was briefed on the incident as he traveled home from his trip to Asia. In a lengthy statement, he said the United States does not and never will accept North Korea as a nuclear state. The president says North Korea's test would be met with serious consequences.
Every time we condemn them, they come back at us with another test.
Just this week, the country launched 3 missiles while China hosted world leaders at the G20 summit. Officials say the nuclear test not only violates UN Security Council resolutions, but also raises concerns that the communist nation is a step closer to building a nuclear warhead capable of reaching the U.S. mainland. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
And North Korea says the test is in response to international sanctions and U.S. hostility in the region, as they put it. Last month, the U.S. and South Korea held joint military exercises.
With less than 60 days to go till the general election, the 2016 presidential candidates are sharpening their verbal attacks. At her first formal press conference in several months, Hillary Clinton labeled Donald Trump a gift for ISIS and criticized his praise for Russia's president during Wednesday's Commander-in-Chief Forum. Trump is standing by his remarks and called the Democratic nominee trigger-happy for voting to go to war in Iraq.
NASA's bold mission to bring pieces of a dangerous asteroid down to Earth has taken flight. The agency's Osiris-Rex spacecraft lifted off from the Cape Canaveral last night. NASA is hoping to start getting images of the asteroid called Bennu in the next couple of years or so. We have a cute story for you this afternoon. A 3-year-old Seattle Mariners fan has become quite the internet sensation.
Beatrix Hart was nicknamed Cotton Candy Girl after her video at the Mariners game was posted on social media. The Jumbotron captured an amazing moment at the game Wednesday night. Just look at this. She's getting ready to come up. You're going to see it. There it is. There it is. She is covered in cotton candy, and that's Beatrix going berserk. The cameras came back again and again. Beatrix hit the car seat very hard afterwards. She was a little tuckered out. Meanwhile, the Mariners posted this video and the internet got to work. Now Cotton Candy Girl and her apparent sugar rush are famous.
Well, they certainly are. But
cute as can be.
The first time she had discovered a good thing like that, right?
There you go.
Okay. We're back in a moment. A teenage driver and her passenger are in critical condition after a police chase ended with a crash in southern Kentucky.
More on that coming up when our midday news continues at 12:30.
And storms are dying down a little bit to take us into our Saturday, but I'm tracking potential severe weather in the bluegrass to kick off the weekend. I'll show you where and when we may see it coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Mike Linden.
Well, things are starting to calm down a little bit here on Friday, although we are still looking at wet weather moving across the bluegrass. But now all eyes are on Saturday with the potential for severe weather here in the bluegrass. Right now on the Defender Radar Network, as you can see over the past few hours, these strong rain cells have certainly shrunken down as they've worked their way eastward. Still finding some periods of heavy rain, though, over spots like Jessamine County, over Garrett County, and now moving into Fayette County. All in all, today's shaping up to be a gray day with still the chance for some pop-up thunderstorms a little bit later this afternoon as a cold front sits over top of us. But we look to the northwest, and it's this cold front now moving through the Minneapolis area that's set to bring us the potential for severe weather on Saturday. The cool air behind that front is not going to get along with the warm, moist air we have in place here in the bluegrass, and it's for that reason that any of the counties highlighted in this yellowish green color are under a slight risk for severe weather tomorrow afternoon. All other areas under that green color under marginal risk, but this does include Fayette County, Clark, Scott, Bourbon, Jessamine, Garrett counties, and tracking toward the southeast. That's for your Saturday. Now, this is why we are under that potential, or that slight severe risk, I should say. Moving through our day today, again, it's mainly northern Kentucky where we're going to find the potential for pop-up storms. But look what happens as we head into our Saturday. Look at this organized line cutting in from the northwest, very well defined on the map there. Heavy rainfall, especially over central Kentucky, and when we see a temperature gradient going from east to west by about 10 or so degrees, that means strong winds, and that's part of that potential severe threat. Once we get this front past us on Sunday, things are looking awesome. In the upper 70s, sunny and dry. But check this out. Model's starting to spit out some pretty high totals for central Kentucky, potentially up near 1.5 inches through our day on Saturday. So that certainly has a lot to do with the fact why we might see that severe weather. So again, today looking pretty wet with a chance for those pop-up showers to the north of us. But tomorrow there is that slight risk for severe weather, especially for central Kentucky tomorrow afternoon. So that front bringing in some cool air that's going to make things great Sunday, Monday. But it's for that reason the cool air doesn't get along with the warm, moist air we have in place right now.
It's kind of a new addition, although you were telling us earlier for those temperatures to then make that dramatic switch, it's going to take some dramatic weather.
And strong wind for sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike. The Wildcats headed to Gainesville, where they're looking to try to turn around their fortunes.
Coming up, we'll hear from Mark Stoops, who's looking for his guys to increase their focus before heading into the swamp.
Good afternoon, everybody. The football Wildcats have one more game plan go over today, and then they'll be on their way to Gainesville shortly, looking to turn around their fortunes from last weekend. Mark Stoops called this week a good week of practice, but also a long week. He's looking for a team effort across the board and for his guys to increase their focus heading into the swamp.
I just saw guys trying to be focused and do the best they can. You know, there's everybody can do better, and I think that was the big message is you know, dig in and don't have any regrets and have the discipline to prepare the right way. And I saw a lot of guys trying to do that.
Now, one journalist yesterday said Stoops appeared to be edgy. He was short, quick with his points. With his answers, Stoops was asked about if he would use a 4-3 defense instead of a 3-4 defense against the Gators.
I mean, we do play a 4-3. I don't know. We'll see. You want me to tell them the game plan?
Cats and Gators from the swamp tomorrow. You'll see it right here on WKYT beginning at 3:30, immediately following Mark Stoops. On a special edition of WKYT Game Time, Stoops will address the media at a live press conference from the swamp. Season opener last night for EKU taking on Pikeville. First time ever the Colonels have played an NAIA team since making the switch to 1AA back in the late 70s. And the Bears were in this game early. EKU with a quarterback situation. Benny Coney out with a concussion. Matty Mock doesn't play because of a shoulder injury, so EKU goes with redshirt sophomore Tyler Swafford. First quarter, Swafford looking for and finding Ryan Markish on the 13-yard play. 7-0 Colonels. Pike would take the lead on this play. It's 14-7 after Swafford is sacked. He fumbles. Jordan Mattingly with the scoop and score. The Bears have the lead, and they're believing that EKU comes to life and scores 48 in a row. Henry Enyahidi. I'll get it right one of these times, I promise. He gets into the end zone. The Maroons tack on a lot more. Touchdown, and it's 55-14, your final score. Enyahidi. That's a look at sports. Have a great day.